Hello. Today we're going to be looking at two perspectives in psychology. We're going to focus on behaviorism and psychodynamics. Psychology is a very wide aspect. It covers behaviorism, biologic psychology, psychodynamic, and cognitive psychology. These are diverse aspects of psychology. But however, today we're going to focus on behaviorism and psychodynamics, and we're going to look at their key theories, similarities and differences, the assumption and application of both perspective on contemporary issues. So let's start off with behaviorism, and we're going to look at our main key theories here is Skinner, because it says behaviorism is a perspective of psychology that credits the shaping of human behavior to the environment. So we'll take for example, if a new baby is born, a new baby comes with nothing because it's been born into the world and is groomed. And one of the major factors that this theory says is the environment that shapes the behavior of that child. And the assumption here is that behavior are observable, is what you see, and they are measurable. And the key theories, which is Skinner's, he uses the operant conditioning. He sees behavior is gotten through reward and punishment, and Skinner is able to use the box experiment. So Skinner believes that if you behave well, you'll be rewarded for it, and if you don't behave well, you'll be punished for it. However, this work has been criticized because if we look at a bit of it, the scientific approach to this study, it says that it allows the observation of experimental and empirical evidence. What you can there are evidence to this work, and it shows the modification of reward and behavior. However, some other theories have criticized the work because it says it neglects the importance of mental state, feeling, and focusing only on the external factor, which is the environment. So let's look at psychodynamics perspective. From this picture, just looking at this picture, when you see a picture, there are different perspectives to it. But when I look at this picture, I see freedom, I see free will. You're allowing the child to be able to express themselves through play. A teacher has just put a lot of things in front of the child, showing the child, and if you look at the other child is observing, and from there, because the child has free will, is able to express herself through play. So this perspective attributes shaping the feelings, the unconscious thought and past experience, interacting with conscious awareness. All this the psychodynamic aspects focuses on, and the key theorist here is Simon Field, and his assumption is that the ego and superego of the unconscious mind influences the conscious mind. So the key theory here is being able to say that the mental states, the unconscious thought, like our dreams, all this also affects behavior, not just the environment, according to Skinner's work. So psychodynamics theory. Now, if we look at this image, is a sexual image that shows sexual behavior. When it comes to sexuality, we as human beings have different ways which we behave it. Of course, when it comes to that is an unconscious thought, which the psychodynamics theory focuses on, and this attributes to human behavior. Sigmund Field was very conscious about mentioning the childhood experience as part of the unconscious mind, because it believes whatever happened in your past life also affects your behavior in the future and the present. So let's evaluate the psychodynamic theory. It says contributes to the understanding of human emotions, because some unconscious thought leads to the reason why suddenly you start crying. It could be a thing you remember from your childhood, from your past, or maybe from a dream, and you suddenly start crying. These are unconscious emotions which is being looked at, and it prioritizes the role of unconscious behavior in shaping the experiences. Also looked at the childhood. So all this, if we look at them, if you carefully sit down to read the slides, we'll see all the evaluation of psychodynamics theory. So here we're going to be comparing and contrasting behaviorism and psychodynamics. So focus behaviorism actually focuses on the overt observable behavior, what they can see. If somebody is behaving in a certain way, they judge the person on what they can see, what they have been able to observe. Why psychodynamic looks deeper, looks at the unconscious thoughts, looks at the feeling. This is where the freedom comes. This is where you sit the child or an individual down to ask you, tell me how you feel. What did you feel? How did it go? But behaviorism just, what I see is what I use to judge that, yes, this is what is wrong with this person. So other things that have been listed, if we look at the determinants of behaviors, according to behaviorism, it says social influences, learning, rewards, and punishment determines behavior. Why psychodynamics looks at other things like internal conflict, childhood experiences, unconscious thoughts, and other instincts and other things. So we have their method and key theories listed below. So both theory have their similarities and differences. So we'll start with the similarities of behaviorism and psychodynamics. So the similarities here is that both of them recognize the impact of past experiences. Of course, most times our past experiences shapes a lot of behaviors of humans today. Both have developed therapeutic approach to modify behaviors for intended outcome, and others are listed behavior. And their differences is, one of the major differences is that behaviorism focuses on external, while psychodynamic focuses on the internal factors such as behavior shapers like the freedom, the dreams, and all of that, childhood experiences. This is what psychodynamics focuses on, while behaviorism examines the observable, which is the environment. You can just say, oh, it's because this individual lives in so environment, that's why the individual has been able to grow up in certain way. That is what behaviorism focuses on, while psychodynamics explores the unconscious. Apart from the environment, let's look internal. Let's look at what other thing. It could be childhood experience, it could be the past, it could be the human ego, it could be a perspective that is coming from the mental states. So and psychodynamics focuses on that. And behaviors adopt empirical method, while psychodynamic employs a non-empirical method. And in behaviorism, humans are inactive recipients of environmental influences, while psychodynamics sees human as an active influence by the unconscious forces. So it's really when we take two individual, or when we take an individual and we're just determining that, oh, this individual now has grown up in proper, has grown up in a proper way, well behaved, no issues. You say it's the environment. Oh, he grew up in a very good state, went to a very good school. Now you take another individual on the other hand, is not well behaved, is a gangster or whatever, and you say, oh, it's where it grows up. That's behaviorism, just looking at the outwards. Meanwhile, psychodynamics can take these two individuals and look at the internal factors that what else apart from the environment could affect that individual. It could not just be the environment, it could be that individual as exploring the internal person, the perspective of how the person sees life, or how the person perceives life, or how the person, maybe the person has goals, dreams. All these things shape us as individuals to determine how far we behave or how well we behave. So let's look at the application to contemporary issues. So psychodynamic is being able to treat mental health disorder like anxiety, depression, because this looks internal, like it tells you, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what is in your head, how do you feel, what is going through your head, what is your perspective to certain things, how do you view this, how do you view that. That's how psychodynamics is able to help with certain issues. We also psychodynamics also is able to look at issues of sexism, racism, and other social issues. Also finds the application of psychodynamic relevant to trauma impact like PSCD. So behaviorism also deals with mental health like anxiety, depression. PSCD also very effective when it comes to autism through applied behavior analysis. Also improves student behavior in the sense of reinforcement and punishment. So if we look at this image, okay, if we look at this previous image, this image shows drug addiction and psychodynamics. If we use the psychodynamics to want to help this individual, it's going to ask a lot of questions. Why did you start smoking? What do you enjoy in smoking? I've got different questions that will go into now. Did you ever see anyone smoking? What led you to smoking? Were you depressed? A lot of questions will arise before you, because in psychodynamic you need to get to the root. It allows you to get to the root of how this behavior started. This is another image of therapeutic counseling. We can apply both behaviorism and psychodynamic when it comes to counseling, because everything in hand comes handy one way or the other. If you apply psychodynamics, it helps you go deeper to see what the human is thinking about, and if you apply behaviorism, it also helps you to see how the environment was able to contribute to shaping this individual. So in conclusion, it says behaviorism and psychodynamics provide invaluable insight to human behaviors and action. Despite their variances, they have significantly contributed to our perception of human behavior and application to solving human behavior related problems. So the references are listed below. Thank you.